Do you remember a meal so simple it didn't need a recipe, but it still felt like home? The kind you ate on quiet nights, when times were tough, and the kitchen light was the only one on. Before microwaves and frozen dinners, these meals showed up again and again. Today, we're talking about 10 forgotten meals that defined everyday American life. Let's take a trip down memory lane and remember the food that quietly carried us through. Number 1. Scrambled eggs on buttered toast. Scrambled eggs on buttered toast were more than breakfast in the 1960s and 70s. It was dinner when you lived alone and needed something warm and fast. You'd crack 2 eggs into a bowl, beat them with a fork, and melt butter in a small pan. As the eggs cooked softly, the smell of butter filled the kitchen. The toast popped up golden, already spread with more butter, soaking it in. The eggs went right on top, simple and steady. The taste was gentle. Eggs, salt, butter, warm bread. Nothing fancy, nothing extra. This meal worked because everything was always there. Eggs in the fridge, bread on the counter, butter within reach. One pan, one plate, no leftovers. For many seniors, it stayed a favorite because it was predictable, filling, and comforting when the house was quiet and the day felt long. Number 2. Grilled cheese sandwich. A pan-fried grilled cheese was one of those meals that made a quiet house feel warm again. In the 1960s and 70s, it was dinner when you didn't want anything complicated. You'd butter 2 slices of white bread, place a slice of American cheese in between, and lay it in a hot pan. The sound of bread sizzling in butter filled the kitchen. The smell was rich and comforting. When you flipped it, the bread turned golden and crisp, while the cheese inside melted soft and smooth. The first bite was crunchy on the outside and creamy in the middle. It was hot, filling, and steady. One pan, a few minutes, and a meal that felt familiar every single time. Number 3. Tuna salad on crackers. Tuna salad on crackers was a common dinner when cooking felt like too much work. In the 1970s, you'd open a can of tuna, drain it, and mix it with a little mayonnaise and salt. Then you'd spread it across saltine crackers laid out on a plate. The smell was mild and familiar, just fish and mayo. The taste was creamy and salty, with the crackers adding a dry crunch that made it feel filling. It didn't require heat, dishes, or standing at the stove. On warm days or tired evenings, this meal made sense. You could eat it slowly, one cracker at a time, and be done. Simple, quiet, and practical. It was food made for getting through the day without any extra effort. Number 4. Cottage cheese with canned peaches. Cottage cheese with canned peaches was dinner on days when cooking felt impossible. In the early 1970s, you'd scoop cottage cheese into a bowl, open a can of peaches, drain the syrup, and place the slices right on top. The smell was sweet fruit mixed with tangy dairy. The taste was cool, creamy, and lightly sweet, easy on the stomach and easy to eat. No stove, no pans, just a bowl and a spoon. This meal mattered on days when standing too long hurt or energy ran low. It gave protein and something fresh without effort. Quiet, cold, and gentle. It was a meal that didn't ask much from you when you had very little to give. Number 5. Buttered noodles with Parmesan cheese. Buttered noodles with Parmesan cheese were the kind of meal you made when the cupboard felt empty, but there was still something warm to eat. In the 1970s and 80s, you'd boil egg noodles or macaroni, drain them, and stir in butter until it melted and coated every piece. The smell was warm and familiar, just butter and pasta. A shake of Parmesan from the green can added salt and a sharp bite. The noodles were soft, slippery, and filling. It was cheap, fast, and didn't require a recipe. One pot, one bowl, and a meal that stayed warm in your hands. For many seniors, it wasn't exciting food, but it was steady, comforting, and enough to get through a quiet evening. Number 6. Canned corned beef hash. Canned corned beef hash was a full meal that came from one can and one pan. In the late 1960s and 70s, you'd dump the hash into a hot skillet and let it sit until the bottom turned brown and crispy. The smell of frying potatoes and salty meat filled the kitchen fast. When you flipped it, the edges crackled and darkened. The taste was rich, salty, and starchy, with crisp bits mixed into the soft center. It filled you up without needing sides or extras. This meal mattered because it was dependable. One can, a few minutes, and dinner is done. For many seniors, it was food you could count on when nothing else in the fridge made sense. Number 7. Milk toast with butter and sugar. Milk toast with butter and sugar was a gentle meal from an earlier time. In the 1950s through the 1970s, it was what you ate when your stomach was unsettled or chewing felt like too much work. You'd toast white bread until it was firm, butter it while it was still hot, then tear it into pieces in a shallow bowl. Warm milk was poured over the top, softening the bread, and a spoonful of sugar finished it. The smell was warm milk and butter. The taste was mild, sweet, and calming. It wasn't meant to impress. It was meant to soothe. For many seniors, this was comfort food in its quietest form, something soft and warm when the body needed kindness more than flavor. Number 8. Melted cheese on toast. Melted cheese on toast was a fast, no-nonsense meal when standing at the stove felt like too much. In the 1970s and 80s, you'd lay a slice of white bread under the broiler, place American cheese on top, and watch it bubble and brown. The smell was sharp and buttery, filling the kitchen in seconds. The cheese melted into a hot, gooey layer while the edges crisped and blistered. The bread stayed soft underneath, soaking up the melted fat. The taste was salty, rich, and comforting. No flipping, no pan, no timing it just right. Just heat, melt, and eat. For many seniors, this was the simplest way to get something warm and filling when energy ran low. Number 9. Soft-boiled egg with toast soldiers. A soft-boiled egg with toast soldiers was a small meal that felt careful and familiar. In the 1960s and 70s, you'd lower an egg into boiling water and watch the clock closely, just a few minutes. The shell cracked open to reveal a warm, runny yolk. Toast came out golden, buttered, and cut into thin strips. The smell was butter and warm egg. Each piece of toast dipped into the yolk soaked it up, rich and smooth. The taste was gentle but satisfying. This meal wasn't rushed. It required a little attention, a little patience. For many seniors, it was comforting because it felt controlled and familiar, something you could still do just right in a quiet kitchen. Number 10. Fried egg sandwich with ketchup. A fried egg sandwich with ketchup was a quick, filling meal when you needed something hot and didn't want to think too much. In the 1970s and 80s, you'd crack an egg into a small pan and let the edges sizzle in butter or oil. The smell of frying eggs filled the kitchen fast. Once the yolk set or stayed a little runny, you slid it onto white bread and added a stripe of ketchup. The bread soaked up the grease, turning soft and warm. The taste was rich egg, salty butter, and sweet, tangy ketchup all together. It was messy, simple, and satisfying. For many seniors, this was muscle memory food, made without measuring, eaten quickly, and remembered long after the plate was empty. These meals weren't fancy, and they weren't meant to be. They were made to get people through the day when money was tight, energy was low, and the house was quiet. Each one carried warmth, routine, and a sense of normal life. They filled empty kitchens and steady hands, one plate at a time. These forgotten meals weren't just food. They were comfort, survival, and everyday American life, remembered one bite at a time.